It's a little complicated, but Leatherman has just released a Leatherman signal that they say is extremely special, that you can get on a limited basis. Some websites are selling this one per person. It's $30 more on Leatherman's website. I have no clue why, but you might want to buy this really quick, maybe, but maybe not. And let's go into why you might and why you might not. Now, first of all, I want to talk about just the regular signal. So you've seen the pictures on the screen of the Leatherman signal that they're selling at the moment, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But the regular signal is a really cool tool with the replaceable wire cutters, the crimpers. This is ModRight's pocket clip that I replaced mine with. Sometimes the pocket clips are known not to work that well. Got the clip, bit driver, another bit driver on the other end, the hammer end, and then the whistle, the ferrule rod that stores in the handle. Then you can clip this back, and I believe it's like so. There we go. Got that clip back, ferrule rod. Then onto the other side, the sharpening stone you can take off, outside tools, combo blade, and the saw. On the inside, bit driver, can opener, wire stripper, the awl. A pretty nice tool set for a very lightweight. I sort of forget how this weighs, especially with the modded pocket clip. I think it's pretty lightweight. Yeah, 7.8 ounces or 220 grams. So it is a very lightweight tool to carry around with you. And yeah, just a lot of people must really love this. Now, Leatherman has introduced their Sandstorm version, which looks a little bit like this skeletal. And some of the special features include the Cerakoted blade and saw. And then there is the multi-tone camo pattern. Also, there's glow-in-the-dark accents, which it almost seems like they've just printed these in glow-in-the-dark, which I don't think would be that hard to do, or painted them with glow-in-the-dark. But anyway, it does look cool, definitely when the lights are off. That is pretty neat in the pictures. I did not buy one, and we'll get into that a little later why I didn't. Now, one of the other things we have to talk about is the new sheath that comes with this Leatherman Signal Sandstorm. Now, it is very light, as you can see on the screen. It looks nice. Leatherman does a nice job with sort of collar matching some of these new products with a different pouch. Obviously, they're trying to make some more money with the pouch. They may sell that separately in the future, who knows? But with this, yeah, it's a little different. Matt from Matt's Multi-Tools, definitely watch his video. I'll try to leave a link below. But he brought up a really good point that why would you want such a light colored pouch when you're potentially carrying this on an elk hunt or out canoeing? If you have a super light pouch like this, it will get dirty very, very quick. Now, the obvious answer is that a lot of these signals will be sitting on or in someone's cabinet collecting dust, probably. That's probably the dirtiest they'll get. Someone will just be brushing the dust off them. But for some of you, I know it doesn't matter how much you spend on a multi-tool, you still will use it. And that pouch might not be a great choice. I might put the tool in another pouch and then just save that for something else. So why I will not be buying this tool is the same reason why I did not buy different versions of the Leatherman Arc. I just don't need a whole bunch of the same tool in my collection with slightly different colors at these exaggerated prices. Now, I think it is cool. So for those of you who are avid collector of Leatherman, that's great. But for me, I'm happy to see it. And if I see it in your collection, it will look fantastic. And I think it does look really nice, but that's just not something I need at the moment. The design isn't that different. It's not really that novel. I don't mind paying $100, $200 for something that is truly different. Even the pipe vise plier that I've been carrying for work, I am realizing, hey, it is different. It's something a little bit unique. But the Signal, I already have one. And if I want another one, I would buy it used off of eBay. So that's my reason. So when I'm not buying these expensive tools, what am I buying instead? Well, oddly enough, one of the things that I have bought off of eBay is actually a Leatherman arc. Now, I was able to find this Leatherman arc for around $120. So I actually paid $125.82 to be exact. That's what my eBay account says. This Leatherman arc was a little bit beat up, but it still works. It's got the pocket clip. This knife has definitely seen some better days. The bit driver is a little bit, the bit is bent right there, but I figured I would go ahead and do a video where I sort of go through this, maybe clean it up a little bit, and we'll see how that works out. But for $125, I thought this was actually a pretty good deal. The Leatherman arc goes for $250, and so I got it around half price, which I'm pretty happy about. Now for $37.63, I actually bought the Gerber Stakeout Drive. I've done a little bit of a short video on this, but I'm really fascinated in working on these and modding on these. So I've taken a little bit more of a shine to Gerber lately. So that was fun to buy. And then one of the other Gerbers that I bought was actually this MP600, which I think they're officially discontinued or they're not available on Gerber's website. You can still buy these brand new on Amazon, but I got this one for a pretty good price as well. So looking at my eBay account, I paid $32.23 for this Gerber MP400, which I really like. I think it's a really good value, and it was in pretty much new condition, a really cool tool. Now for around $20, this is actually another multi-tool I bought. This is the Mid-Fielder. This is the writing bicycle. This was made for people to have in their offices, a multi-tool for your office, and it includes really unique tools like this caliper. Isn't that crazy? With actual markings on here. I don't know how useful that is, but pretty fascinating. When we look at the frame of the bike, there's a mechanical pencil that fits on there. On each of these, you actually have a pen, a writing pen, and these drink holders. So that's different. On this wheel, you can see you've got a lot of measurements for angles, calculating different things with that. So in the back wheel is this tray for things that you might want to use as an office. You have to sort of lift up on this lip for it to work properly. It gets a little bit bound up, but paper clips. Then there is even some paper holders or some other clips to hold paper, and then the safety clips that were there. So yeah, it's sort of a fascinating idea. I don't know how well it actually works in execution, but an interesting idea nevertheless. Now it does come with this set of antique instructions. I think what they are saying is you can take this front wheel off, put it in here, take the pedals off. These pedals, come off like so. And then they're saying that you can use this to measure distances of buildings, which I think is a little stretch to rotate and use this to measure different things. But overall, it's a very fascinating tool. Yeah, there is many different versions of this, or several, and I really find these very unique. Now, if you're thinking about buying the Leatherman Signal for the outdoors, one of the other tools you're probably thinking about is a flashlight. I was just sent this Nightwalker G09 to the channel. This is nice in the fact that it is very simple. You have a low, you have a high. If you want the strobe, then you sort of just press this when it's off a couple times and then turn it back on and you've got the strobe. Then you're down to low and high. Now on the low setting, that is 40 lumens, and then that does run for 4 hours. When you go to the high setting, that is 450 lumens, and that is good for around 45 minutes. So this is a very lightweight flashlight. It is around 3.5 inches long. And if you notice on the end, it will have a charging light when it is green for fully charge and then red if it needs charge. So it's IP68 rated. So the 450 lumens on the high setting is supposed to reach around 50 meters. Now, I have not carried this a ton, but it seems like a pretty no-nonsense light for $22. Yeah, the features might seem a little lightweight for that, so that's up to you. It doesn't have hardly any ratings. I think it had maybe one review on Amazon, so I'll leave that up to you whether you think it's a good deal or not. I have not carried it that long, but so far it seems to be working fine. When we open this up, this will be their battery in here, 3.7 volts. A big shout out to them. Thanks for sending this to the channel. So while the Leatherman Signal Sandstorm seems like a really nice tool, and I'm really happy for those of you who have gotten one, I think at this time I will pass. I will focus on some of these other tools. I enjoy personally modding a lot more. That brings me a lot more fulfillment than just storing really expensive tools that eventually might rust. I have had a couple tools that rust on me, and that's always sad when you pay a lot and then the tools start to decay on you. So I enjoy modding tools, but for those of you who enjoy collecting, this looks like a really nice candidate for your collection. Make sure you buy it the cheapest you can at Smoky Mountain Knife Works or Blade HQ or Dick's sporting goods store for $150 rather than the $180 online on Leatherman's website. But other than that, it looks like a pretty cool tool.